So my first question to you today is, do I look sick to you? Hello, hi, g'day. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk to you about something a little bit different. I don't really know how to start this. Do I look healthy? Do I look normal? I'm here to tell you that I've got Crohn's disease. What is Crohn's disease? Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory. Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory bowel disease. Chronic meaning there's no cure and you will have it for the rest of your life. There are two main types of inflammatory bowel disease: Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Both of these illnesses are very similar. Crohn's disease can affect you anywhere in your digestive tract, from your mouth to your bottom. And ulcerative colitis only typically affects the colon. So basically, your immune system, normally in a normal healthy person, when you have a bug come into your body, your immune system is like, and it just attacks the bug, and then the bug goes away and then you're fine again then. But with Crohn's and colitis, your body thinks that your digestive system is foreign to the body, so it attacks. So it's like, and it's just like attacking your digestive system. So that's why you end up with inflammation, ulcers, bleeding, pain, discomfort, fatigue, weight loss, joint pain, and the best one of all, diarrhea. We all love diarrhea. So today's been a little bit rough. I've been feeling really good for the past 4 weeks or so. But then I started to have some bleeding this morning. A lot of the time it's nothing to worry about, but it is not very pleasant and it's pretty scary. The main reason people don't like talking about Crohn's and colitis is because one of the most well-known symptoms is diarrhea, which is not very nice, not very feminine, not ladylike, and people don't like to talk about it. But diarrhea is one of the very small parts of this illness. There's so much more to it than just an upset stomach. But you have to remember that although people with Crohn's and colitis can look normal, like I do, on the inside, it's like red and sore and inflamed and not nice. One of the most debilitating symptoms of Crohn's disease is definitely the fatigue factor. I'm in bed. I'm fully clothed, but I'm not feeling very well. This is real life. You can be carrying out your day as normal and it can just hit you in the face like, I'm so tired, I can't function. But to everyone else, you look completely fine. So it's very difficult for people to understand the effect of the illness and how much fatigue can be a problem. I feel like absolute dog poo today. People with Crohn's and colitis can often become very underweight and malnourished because we can't absorb anything from food. So there are lots of different treatments for Crohn's disease. When I was first diagnosed, there were only a handful. But now there are lots of different options for you. Many of those being medication. So I was 19 when I was diagnosed. I was on a holiday with my family in the US. While I was on holiday, I was feeling quite nauseous. I didn't feel like eating. I thought that I just put it down to being in a different country, being around different food, and I thought maybe it was just the travel that made me feel unwell. But then one day I got a really bad stomach ache and I started getting quite bad diarrhea, And again, I just put this down to a bug, maybe something I'd picked up while I was traveling. When I returned home, I continued to feel quite unwell, which resulted in several doctor's appointments. The doctors noticed that my weight was quite low, but I've always been a slim build anyway, so this wasn't particularly alarming to me and my family because I was always so small. As it continued, I got so dehydrated that I started to get severe cramping in my legs, which meant I couldn't walk properly. It stopped me from doing things that I enjoyed. I was playing netball at the time. I couldn't play netball anymore because my legs were so cramped. I felt socially awkward to go out in public. I didn't want anyone to know what was wrong with me or that I was struggling. So it was quite tough in the beginning. Eventually I got referred to a gastroenterologist in Adelaide, Australia, where I grew up. And it only took a few different tests to diagnose me. So within about 3 months from my first GP appointment to being diagnosed, which is really remarkable because a lot of people with Crohn's disease, it takes years to diagnose them. So I was very lucky. So I started on prednisolone, which is a steroid, and azathioprine, which is azathioprine, which is an immune suppressant medication. So I tried those drugs and they worked at first, but unfortunately after about 12 months I relapsed, and I went on to Humira. Tuck my top in, 2 ends, swab, so you do opposite sides each time. Didn't even feel it that time. Humira. I started on Humira in, I think it would have been about 2012. 1 injection every 2 weeks. And I was on Humira up until last year when we realized Humira was no longer working for me, and now it's very complicated and I will not go into it. When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease, you become very familiar with the hospital. You're going to appointments all the time. Just heading to my specialist appointment now at Musgrove Hospital in Taunton. So I'm at the hospital today at Musgrove, my favourite. You become best mates with your specialist. I'm here with Dr. Pell. Wave, Dr. Pell.
Hello.
And the nurse. Say hello. And you become very familiar with going to the hospital a lot. There's a few different tests that you have. The first one is a colonoscopy. Oh, we love a colonoscopy. Colonoscopy is not pleasant. If you have to have a colonoscopy, you will get through it. It's not that bad, but you are given a lot of laxatives and it's not the best thing ever. I have a colonoscopy tomorrow. Yay! So I've been on this weird diet for the last 5 days. I haven't been able to eat any vegetables other than potato, which sounds like it's fun, but it's not fun at all. One of the things they do say you can have is Cocoa Pops. So I'm choosing to have Cocoa Pops as my last meal. I don't know, about over 12 hours or so, you've got to drink all these laxatives. I've got my little cup, my bottle of gross stuff, and some squash, which is cordial to those in Australia. And then you go to the toilet a lot and you get everything out of you, so you're just a carcass of yourself and there's nothing left. And then you go to the hospital and they stick a camera up the butt. Did you watch the video?
What video?
The video of my colon?
No.
He didn't get to watch it. The third test is an MRI. So this involves drinking a good litre of thick water. It's like water with stuff in it that, like, it's It's almost like metal water or something, I don't know. So you drink that over about an hour and a half or so. You go into the giant donut, which is the MRI machine. And you go in there and you lay down and you listen to music. You are asked to breathe in and breathe out, and the machine just goes chung 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 chung, or like each time it's like, what noises are gonna make this time? And it's like chung 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 chung, or it's like or it's like dun 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 dun. It just makes all different kinds of noises, like Macy tapping her feet on the floor. I think that it's a lot like being in a giant mobile phone. It's like buzzing you, like vibrating you, and like, yeah, it's hard to explain. I suppose the fourth very common test with any autoimmune disease such as Crohn's, colitis, arthritis is a lot of blood tests, a lot of needles. When I first got diagnosed, I was so scared of needles. Every time they took my blood, I would cry. And now it's like a walk in the park. No big deal. Take the blood from me. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. You just get used to it after a while. With any chronic illness, there are definitely some hard times. There's some times where you feel like no matter what you do, nothing's making you better. It's easy to have a positive attitude when things are going well, but when you're not in remission and all you're thinking about is what you could be doing to make yourself better, but there's nothing that makes you better, it is tough sometimes. You get fed up, you just want to be healthy, you want to be hanging out with your friends, doing normal things and not thinking about when's my next doctor's appointment, when's my next test, oh, I've got to go to the pharmacy, I've got to go to the hospital, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Like, it is exhausting at times. And when you're a young person, the last thing that you want to do is be worrying about going to the hospital and doctor's appointments. It's difficult, but without a positive attitude, you will not get through it. You need to have support from your friends and family. You need to be open with them, and it's not so bad. You know, there's going to be very difficult times, but there's also very happy times when your medication works, when you're able to eat what you want, when you're living your life the way that you want to live your life and you're in remission. You know, you won't even know that you have an illness. There are days where you can feel like a completely normal person, and then obviously there's going to be days where life is a bit shit. The number one key with having a chronic illness is do not let it defeat you. It doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that you need to change your life and become Crohn's girl. I am an advocate for my illness. I try and push to get the best treatment I can. I try and look after myself. Sometimes you need to give up certain things in order to have a normal life, which is why I am the way I am. For some people, this means changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, but basic things you can do: drink enough water, get enough sleep, don't smoke, obviously. And the number one thing that you should be doing is having a positive attitude. It's becoming an illness that's much more common. When I was diagnosed, I didn't even know what it was. When I tell people that I have Crohn's disease, a lot of people don't know what it is. Use it as an opportunity to tell them about it. Explain to them what it is. There are some people that will make you feel uncomfortable, and some people even make fun of you, which, you know, says more about them than it does about you, I think. Try and live your life as best you can, and know that you are special and you're strong and you can do this. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it, spread the word about Crohn's and colitis. Try and explain to people that it's not just about toilet problems, it's about a whole lot more, and it's actually a lot to do with your immune system. And make sure to smile. You have to smile. Smile because you're diseased. If you're new to my channel, make sure you check out my other videos. I do videos about renovating and travel and day-to-day stuff. If you want to see more videos about Crohn's disease, I'd love to share it. I've got lots of different Crohn's related stuff coming up. Hopefully they're not going to cut me open. Hopefully. And I would like to share it. If you guys want to see it, just let me know and leave me a comment. And thank you for watching. Bye! I wonder if you can hear that. The rumbling.